City Records, sweet sound. I concretare mama. Ya no see. No way I can meet that. Megane na uka yenda babo.
Na une don yam.
Na une don yam.
Na une don yam.
Megane na uka wo mama go kwa.
Na une don yam.
Bunu wama banu koma kale gubia. Para kala wa boya gubia wa.
Na une don yam.
Para kaka sokwa.
Na une don yam.
Wala monsen yo. Ekwara monsen talo gwe baba ne. Ekwara monsen kwendo gwe baba mama. Megane na une don yam.
Na une don yam. Na une don yam.
Mega yene yaga yega ka baba we ni ba we to no gwe baba. Da ye bebe don ye dole. Hala de da banga kwa te pe baba. Kasi kwen wodie kamba na une don yamu nika kwa kwen wo ya dongo be na une don yamu kwa kata kwen si ya wongo be mama na une don tabone
na une don yamu
e wala masanyo Zole te mwa kwa kapa pabo. Yego pepe yego dole pole dia. Daku zole yego mabone. De pie zole yego pepe woma. I don't come out to hear you le. Me kana don't come out woma. Ado mama yo matware kebo kanto bomia
na une don yam
kibo nyama ya bosu kwa kwamba ba adon kama uma yone enjeru otane rere walwo onaro we mo pay by time ba ko ma dole kabo jeru da ilesme nuke mekane na muka yenda ya kwala Ewara monsen yo Adonga mawo mawera monsen yo mekane Ere tuma mano koma kode kubie Primo nene senyo Dale ya kanisa kwa wanda me wona wa ogoda Gwe bali ebo ko mai pie kan ba kwore nse ka we kwa mai Ka te tu mi kwa ka papa bo kama
na une don yam
Adonga mawo mai yemune Matasi kwa ka papa bo Si ponya si kwa ka papa wo ne o
na une don yam
Jiso pe kwa ka papa wo mai
na une don yam
Another pin
na une don yam
Rola yo mi kwa ka papa wo ne o Wo ge Sami te sami kwa ka papa wo kama
na une don yam
Ese maremo Tipoti awu wewe wo maema Esta sekre wewe wo maema Zaka wonti ye wewe wo maema Ali tropie mitano Katude ka time wa Patricia batu wewe wo maema mama Beto aya lele Iso ya studio tole awo Presela mame kwa kapa babone Kema fora kwa kapa babo kama Afrique buye godolo bosomu Zoza kwa kapa babone Na une don yama
na une don yam
Na sawa ye kokolo mia
na une don yam
Adon kama wuma yemune
na une don yam
On sore doit te de we
na une don yam
Jeru otane we kwaro kwe O mekane na une don yam
na une don yam
Gibo nyama ya bosu kwa kwamba mo
na une don yam
não caga, não é isso. ya ka odo no ma wa go kwa wo po na we ka atoso we ka do no to kwa ku we na wo me ka ne na wo ka ye nda bonde
na unendo yama
luwe na we me ka ye na ya ka kwe kwa na unendo yama ekwara masi yo kwai ka to kwen kodie kama bende duwe kama kwen tendera kaba papa
na unendo yama
nsore duwa tebe mebo
na unendo yama
me luwe tan we men utaka wa
Well, folks, we want to say good evening and welcome to today's edition of the Riverside Talk. It is the 12 River platform. We're here again with another edition. I want to say thank you to all of you that are following or will follow this show. It is the 12 River platform. All right. What is happening in Liberia? Before then, let's take some happening across the globe. As we all know, what happened yesterday? In the world of sports, the World Cup series ended yesterday with Argentina taking on Spain. And as we all know, or maybe you are not aware, Spain is the champion of the 2026 World Cup series. And Argentina came second. In the lineup, England took the third place, and then, of course, France fourth. So that's how the FIFA World Cup ended. Social Liberians are very interesting. Very, very interesting set of people. I see they have created an image of Lionel Messi, like a Buku man, and yeah. But that's why we call sport. In the field of play, you don't always expect, in fact, you expect the obvious. And a lot of people were cheering for Argentina. Likewise, a lot of people said we are with France. That's not France, but Spain. But then, again, that's what we call soccer. Spain, prevailed last night as the champion of the 2026 World Cup Series. So, congratulations to all participating teams and that of all countries that came along, our African countries that came along. I want to say congratulations to them. We hope to see what will happen. We hope to see our African countries, winning the World Cup. It has always been the West. We can't cross to go that to the extent where we will go for semi-final and that of final. We always live in the knockout round. And hopefully, Africa will recalibrate for 2030. We are hoping that positive things will happen in 2030. Well, that is it. We'll be talking about a couple of things here tonight. Over the week, MDR, that is the Movement for Democratic, and is it? Let me get an name right up. I'm forgetting my own party now. So that is the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction. That is the party of the late fallen godfather of Nima, Senator Prince Yomi Johnson. Senator Prince Yomi Johnson party. So over the weekend, they hosted a youth retreat in Ghana. And that youth retreat has some lot of series of controversies surrounding the retreat, and we'll be talking about it here tonight. And also the protests that took place on Friday, the STEM protest, Moroba Maru. We have two things to talk about on the STEM protest. The issue of the arrest of Moroba Maru and that of the turnout for the protests. Yeah, we'll be looking at that. You know, but let's see. Let's take our music while we are with others to join us.
Iyo say na una doyama mekane na unga mama go kwade
na una doyama
I don't come out ye mune
na una doyama
na una doyama
na una doyama
kawe kwa magobie contre si poignard c'est isoto teni kopo
na una doyama
kasare kasutu
na una doyama.
Okay, folks, welcome back. Let's say welcome back to all of you here. And once again, thanks for following, and those of you that will follow us later on. Like I said, we have a couple of things to talk about, which has to do with the MDR and that of the STEM protests. So over the weekend, specifically on Friday, MDR decided to have a youth retreat in Ganta. And that retreat brought together schools of partisans of MDR. And if you want to know the MDR, it is the party of the late Senator Prince Yomi Johnson. We're talking about Senator Yomi Johnson's party. That's the one we call the MDR. So over the weekend, they have that event. And then the event was, you have Representative Massier, Senator Kogar, Melvin Yelu, Bangura, and you name it. Couple of, hierarchies of the party were there. And then doing that, the honorable senator, said something, and that sparked out some controversy. It has to do with, the party leadership. As we all know, the political leader of that party is now the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. Honorable Jeremiah Pancon. Now, the genesis of this whole story is that MDR and Unity Party did a marriage when we were approaching 2023 general elections. It is that marriage that brought now the Vice President Kuhn to the running mate table. And eventually they won the election. He became the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. Now, there's two sides to this story. The youth of MDR said, after the honorable has spoken, Koga has spoken, said, Kuhn is no longer the member of MDR because he's now with what? Unity Party as a second man in command. So that means the party needs new political leader. Now, other stewards of MDR now say no, that was not the agreement. The agreement with Unity Party was for us that there will be no political leader for that party since they are in marriage with Unity Party. So that is the agreement. That's two story right there. And when Coca said it, I listened to Melvin Yellow interview, and then also the youth chairman on a statement he made regarding the same issue. And if you ask me, in my very honest opinion, I don't think that is, quite. We are talking about erasing this whole rigmarole in the country, especially in Nimba. And then we are always in a habit of creating issue out of no issue. So I think India needs to make peace with itself. India seriously needs to make peace with itself, because I don't see them on a very good path when it comes to the continuing noise within the party about who controls the leadership and you name it. I think if we continue talking like this, the late Godfather, who through his instrumentality there exists today, MDR will also be pleased. That is his legacy. And I think his legacy should be protected beyond political interest. Where he is today, he won't be pleased to see that the party he left behind is, in such a disarray over leadership. And I always say this, I said, we the youth, it is time that we realize that when I say the next generation, it is us. And we are to do something that the generation that is coming after us will also say our forefathers laid this foundation, and that's why it is solid. But if we can't do it, and the politics here that have shared in us, we have shared ourselves with it, and baptize ourselves into the politics so that deep. And if we continue on a path and miss the solid foundation for our, generation to come, and thinking that when it gets there, they will figure out or they will do it better, there will be more worse because we didn't lay the proper foundation for them to come and path and have a smooth flight home. These things require common dialogue, having a roundtable discussion. Hey, gentlemen, what can we do? What is the issue? How can we solve this problem? Then the other one here get group, the other one here get group, and then the worst of all, we will get on social media and start to bombard one another. Now, I always told people, politics is about selling your interest. All right? Your interest. Politics is all about interest. Politics is all about interest. It is no, ideas. Let me say it that way. I sell my ideas to you, you buy. And those guys that we're pushing for, we will say that and go a loggerhead with one another and do whatever we want to do. But then at the end of the day, when we turn our back, they go and sit together and iron things out. You have listened to Puka over and over say, the vice president must say have no issue. I can take phone call and call him. We have no issue. You have listened to Puka on that on several occasions. But it is we, the supporters of those people, that always feel things whenever we hear any small thing. We want to fuel it up and create more issue out of it instead of coming together to solve those problems. So the issue of MDR is an in-house things that they need to sit down, all the hierarchies of MDR, and take personal feeling out of it and bring the interest of everybody, the general interest of the party and that of the founding father who sat and have that ideas. Let me have this. But if you're not careful, MDR will be a laughing stock in NIMBA because you see Billy is already there describing MDR as a helping verb. CMC just came. MDR, it is the strong backbone of NIMBA. And all of this is coming out. It's up to you guys who in heading this institution to make sure that we have, equal representation, equal, knowledge of things that happens in the party. And talking so. Those things don't solve problem. Don't. So it's just my plea to you, the hierarchies of NDR and also supporter of NDR. This time it requires sitting down together and iron things out. You see, Senator Johnson had a very fine idea when he established, I always give this history. In 2025, when an old man contested for the Senate, he came to contest as senator on a Unity Party ticket. But then, Ellen, we're talking about when Ellen won the election. But things didn't materialize. The inner contesting as well. Independent candidate. In 2011, he came to Leland again, established his party. I think that one was NUDP. And that NUDP opened up broad. That's how today you can even sit and hear the name of Koga or Gelu. And you name it at the time. Prince O. Estopa. That's the time they came into existence. Because Senator Johnson established a political institution, and then that institution brought on board a lot of Nimbayans as representatives and senator. Now, do you think, I don't know, you guys can sit and think about what this man will say, or how is this man looking out? The man is a spirit now. That's his legacy. The legacy should be protected and being passed in hospital every single day. That's our paper there. So I think it's important that leadership comes find a common ground and have a constructive dialogue that from there the party will flourish. That brings me to my next talking point, which we will be talking about the Friday protests. Let's take our music real quick. Let me answer this.
Are you lady record sweet sound?
I come to tell mama, ya no see, no way I can meet that. Eh, me gane na uka yenda babo.
Na una don yam.
Na una don yam.
Na una don
Eh,
yam.
me gane na uka wo mama boko.
Na una don yam.
Bunu wama banu koma kade gubia. Para kada wa boya gubia wa.
Na una
So
don
bani se
yam.
kala kaka sokwa.
Na una don
Ewara
yam.
mosien yo. Ewara mosien tado buya baba ne. Ewara mosien kwendo buya baba mama. Me kane na une don yam.
Na una don yam. Na una.
Yeah, so sorry for the breaking. A call came through. So that brings me to my next talking point, which has to do with the Friday protest that was carried out by Moroba Moru and his team. You know, one thing that caught my attention during this protest is that I don't know where our thinking or our thought processes is heading these days. But I saw some disturbing video where an aged woman was displaying how she will undress herself, just how she came to this world, will undress herself to prove if the government refuses to accept their petition, what she was going to do. It is true, it is your right to protest in every other form and manner you wish to do. That is your right. But it is also important to know that your characters matters. I'm sure that woman probably have children. Even if things is hard, but to go to the extent that where you will be displaying yourself on camera, how you will make it yourself. What if it were your child who did that? What will you say to them? Or what will you say to that child? What will you say? But then you choose to be comfortable, and I think we actually need some mental cleansing in that country, because a lot of people go through a lot. They post-traumatic stress. It's a serious condition that affects people's life. But we have not seen, all, like I always say, all we think is when they say mental issue, we think that the person is crazy. The same way you can wake up and go to the clinic for headache and thing, it's also important to go and get mental checkup to know where you stand mentally. But we don't have those services in Liberia, and that's the other side of it too. But in my honest opinion, I think the display from that mother was inappropriate. Even though things are burning you have some burning desire. That is not a way to go about addressing those issues. That is not. That is not a way to go about it. You guys did the right thing by saying we're going to protest. You wrote on those sample, or how you call it, poster sheet. Let me say it that way. Welcome to the show, Franklin. Franklin, are you there? Okay. So you wrote on that and took it there, displaying your messages as to why you feel certain way. And then to say, oh, we will naked ourselves and get on the street. Who you disgracing? It is you and your family that you're disgracing, especially as an aged woman or even whoever that person is. It's a disgrace. And I don't think we want that either. But on another side of it too is that the protesters up to me was, poorly attended as the stand chairman accuses CDC of undermining the protests. And I was like, wow. Franklin, now it's over to you. Let's hear you, brother. Honestly, I don't know what to do to you guys anymore. All the Liberian crew, every day, network. I honestly don't know what to do. To me, the protest itself, people came out, but it was not to the expectation as to who all that we anticipated, or the crowd that some of us anticipated was going to be there that day. But I think Malu tried, but then the issue of the turnout was not that great as to the way in which people thought that the turnout was going to be. I don't think so. But on the other hand, the protest went on fine, and the level of agitation that was anticipated didn't go that way. Everybody maintained what they wanted to do. But there was another issue, and that issue has to do with the firearm that was, that was displaced by the chairman Malu. So since Friday, Malu has not gone to court. Since Friday. Well, folks, let's listen to music. We are having an issue. Let's see if we can help those guys join us in the studio.
Kata kwensi ya wango be mama. Na une don tabone.
Na une don yama.
E wara masayo. Zole ta mwa kwa kapa babo. Yego pepe yego dole pora dia. Da kuzola yego mabone. Yego pepe woman. I don't come out to hear you. And make an don't come out, woman. I do my mother, you. Mantore, Yego come to Bomia.
Na une don yama.
Give on your apples to walk my I don't come out with my own. On a road with my pay, by time I was going to come and do it. Cabo Jaluda, there's no game, mechanic. Mechanic, no one can die. It was a monsieur. I don't got my woman when I must say you mechanic.
Well, welcome back, folks. So, like I was saying, the protest itself, you know, the aim for which the protest was posted and the issue surrounding all of that. That brings me to the issue of the chairman, Moroba Malu, who was then, you know, arrested for firearm conspiracy. Now, if you, it was, you know, on all social media platforms where Malu was showing a gun, and according to him, Moroba Malu, that the security apparatus planted a gun there to frame him up. He said he, Malu, disarmed somebody. Well, who was this person that was disarmed? By the way, if somebody, if you actually, you know, saw the person with a gun during your rally, and according to you, you disarmed this person. Who was this person that you disarmed? Why this person was not, you know, shown to the public that this is the person that have the weapon, and we took it from him. But the weapon was seen by, seen with you when you were displaying that this is the weapon, quote unquote, that you disarmed somebody that was planted by security operatives. Now, you know, we tend to play politics with everything we do in our little country. We tend to do politics. We have the privileges and right to assemble peacefully. That opportunity is afforded us. But I don't think we should be able, we should do it in a way that we always, you know, embraces the negative ones than going for the positive ones. Because that issue is serious. And that's why he was invited by the police, and he's been going to the police. And as of today, overheard saying he's a free man. According to an article that I read, he said he's a free man when he was leaving the police headquarters. But you know, like I always say on my show, we are responsible. We are responsible. Our conduct matters. We speak, the way in which we do things and what we do plays a lot in society. So we have to do something that we want. They say our character speaks even when you are not around. If people know you, character will speak for you. Let us not do things that at the end of the day, it will, you know, trigger us for people to say negative things about us. But that whole idea of you displaying the gun to me was not necessary. You cause unnecessary attention to yourself. If it is me and somebody of such is there, what we would have done was to call the very same police people to come. Hey, we found this person with a weapon. Let the police be able to handle it. But you took it and then said the person was sent by the security operatives to free you up. And one thing I see too with that is that, quote unquote, you took this weapon. You know, we always take things like, even if they decide to trace who owns the gun, how would they do it? Because the gun is already contaminated. Your fingerprint is already there because the way you held the gun, your fingerprint is there. I didn't see anything on your hands when you were holding the gun. I didn't see anything like protection, hand protection when you were holding the gun. I didn't see anything. So if let's say the security people decide to do a thorough, search, maybe like it's okay, let's do DNA here, we do DNA on everything. Let's do DNA to find out who actually owns this gun. Now, if they decide to do, and your fingerprint is there, whoever owns the gun fingerprint is there. You know what's gonna happen? And you're already in custody. That you. So that idea of you displaying the weapon was totally wrong on your part. I think you should have not gone that route. In my opinion, what you should have done was probably maybe call the very security people. Hey, let the journalists be there. We caught this guy with a gun. We don't know him, and we don't know his intention. Just like that. Now they can handle it from that with, a constant follow-up. But you said, no, hey, man, I saw this, you found this guy with a gun. Nothing on you. You're not protected. You accept DNA is on that gun right now. So even if they do a DNA, and there's no one in the system with that, with any possible DNA trace, but then you know what's going to happen? It's on you. So people, we gotta be serious in that little country we have. Very, very serious. And stop those things that will continue to do. It's not everything we take it to be politics. It's not everything. Well, over the weekend, also on Saturday, the Liberian students in India hosted their inauguration, the very first of its kind, and also brought on board new pool of officers. And representation across various universities in India. Their program was successful. It was live, and whoever wanted to watched it. But my plea here is to those of you that receive letter from those children, please make your way, make something happen for me. It's not about having millions or whatever in your account. But what it is that the issue that has to do with helping themselves to help another students in school is a very great cause. What do I mean? Some students are there not going to school because of financial constraint. So their goal is to raise funds to be able to, reach out to those ones. So if you were part of the program Saturday and you received letter from those children, that's the Nima Student Association in India, please reach out to me. Please do. Well, on this note, I'm back to take my leave. Perhaps we'll attend to other issues very important. So We'll be here tomorrow, God's willing, with a very full-fledged edition. And we'll have some fruitful and lengthy discussion here as well. Thank you for your time here tonight.